Nechce teda ani jeden tady tento, no, zase to je jako lepší, že člověk to nemusí držet v ruce. Jo.
Tak něco s rukama, víš, při tom mluvení.
Jo, dobře. No tak jo, tak necháme tady tento pochám. Jo, vůbec se.
Já jednu, že to bylo.
Ta je meková, ta možná ta bílá.
To nevím.
No, tak tam je na ničem jiném, než tam jako nefunguje.
Stáje dobré VGAčko, tyjo, ty.
Ale vidíš, každý počítač úplně jiný. To je strašně srandovní. Vždycky přijde 20 notebooků a 21. jako nic, všechny vypadají stejně.
Jo, dobrý. Jo.
1, 2, 3.
Oni skvěle chtějí mít tady tento.
Takže ten můžu vypnout, dole, ten dole.
Jo. To klidně tady. So, welcome to the third day of DevConf, and the desktop track will start with a talk about the Firefox development roadmap for this year, and the speakers are Michal Stanke, who is Mozilla community representative for the Czech Republic, and Martin Stransky, who is a Firefox developer, mainly the Linux version. Okay, so it's yours.
So Martin will start.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Martin Stransky and I do some development on Firefox on Linux, and I'm going to talk today about some future development of Firefox and what we can expect. So, well, as you may know, Mozilla is not in very good shape today or wasn't in very good shape because there are Google and Chrome, and Firefox is dropping market share, so Mozilla is doing everything to just be back in business and to produce some good browser. There are some ways how to manage that, and the main things I believe are multiprocess and also Sandboxes as Chrome does, and also some speed up. You may know that the main new thing in Firefox is actually the Rust, which is new programming language, and the Rust is something like I don't know if it's really focused on parallelism and safe memory handling. and this whole project of moving Firefox or some parts of Firefox to Rust, the name is Project Oxidation. So some small parts are moving to Rust and bigger and bigger and bigger then. So another big thing from Mozilla point of view, of course, is multiprocess Firefox, when Firefox uses more than one process like in past. And recently Firefox has, I think, one process for the content, and the latest nightly has two processes for content, for web content, and another processes for plugins and media plugins like video players, video decoders like Adobe and so. Well, Sandboxes and the whole project, how to keep with competitors, has name Project Quantum. So those are priorities from Mozilla point of view. Also, we as Red Hat, a company, we have also priorities, which are the GTK3, Flatpak, to distribute Firefox in, I think, GNOME native, future native format, or free container format. Also Wayland, and especially from Enterprise Linux, we want Firefox to be more friendly to enterprise customers. So better configuration, the Fleet Commander project, Kerberos, and so. So Firefox 52 is, I think, some kind of milestone from Mozilla point of view, because Firefox 52 requires Rust, and no more plugins will be allowed, I think, NP API plugins like Java, except Flash. Flash is going to be here, I think, long, because from telemetry, Flash is used by, I think, 40 millions of users. So Mozilla is not going to kill Flash because it has a huge user base. Also on Linux, no Cairo. On Firefox, no more. Firefox is going to use Skia library from GNOME, and also GTK2. GTK2 is going to be removed. So I think it's kind of milestone. I think everything interesting in Firefox is happen just in nightly, which is development version of Firefox. It requires Rust. The Rust is used for media detection and reading the media containers, and also parsing URL, internet addresses. The multiprocess is used there, and also Sandboxes. There are Sandboxes on Firefox. I will talk later about the Sandboxes. Why the whole thing about Rust and Servo? I have a screen here. You can see that this is just the regular Gecko, and this is a benchmark of loading and calculating the flow and styles of Wikipedia page. So you can see the recent implementation of those things are pretty slow, and Servo, which is the future implementation in Rust, is much faster, even in parallel in threads. So this is the reason why Mozilla tries to speed up and do that better. Well, yeah, the multiprocess Firefox has, as I said, content processes, media plugins, and plugins for like Flash in containers, and Yeah, sandboxes. Sandboxes. This is just the default sandbox in Firefox. You can see the main process. This is the main process, the Gecko, which has access to file system, network, and so. And Mozilla uses only sandboxes to sandbox to child processes, like the web content and plugins. So if the plugin or web content breaks this sandbox, it has complete access to system. But we in Red Hat want to do the sandbox complete over the whole browser. So even if the web breaks to the main process, the whole browser will be sandboxed. Right now, it could be done by SE Linux, but in future, we want to do that by Flatpak. And yes, I think I'm going to show you some demos because I think it's much better than talking. So, well, yes. So first of all, I'm going to show you just the sandbox on the Linux. So this is just you can launch Firefox in sandbox by SE Linux by this command, and it run Firefox in a complete environment which is isolated from the system. So I will run it. So there is no profile. So it's completely empty environment. So I will create just some profile and launch it. So I will try to open some files. So there's just the file system. I think it could be accessed by the sandbox, but the home is empty. Yeah. Sorry. Great. The sandbox. Unfortunately, the sandbox is not complete because the application could access X system, and when you have access to X, you have access to root window and also to all other windows. So this is why we want to use Wayland and do the isolation complete of the Firefox. And so, well, so if you visit some broken pages or want to try Flash and so, you can use this sandbox in Fedora. Also, I have presentation of the processes. So here is Firefox nightly. Is nightly Firefox. I will open some pages. Awesome. I don't know. I need some page with Flash. So I have. Okay, I will open more. I don't know. So I have 5 tabs, and okay. Yes, so you can see there is the nightly Firefox, and there are two processes for the content for web, and one for the plugin container. If I killed, kill the contents of some pages. Yeah, this is the page which was killed by user. So I think this nightly works pretty well, but it's not finished in the recent Firefox, which is 51, but it works pretty well in the nightly. So I hope it's going to be in the development or in the production. And the last thing which I have is is the Wayland demo. This is our recent project in Red Hat. We try to make Firefox run in Wayland because the Wayland is faster than X, more secure, and because the application has only access to its window, there is no access to whole area and much more. It's just new and better. So this is our recent Wayland development version. I hope it's going to start. Yeah. So this is our Wayland version. There are some interesting bugs in recent Compositor that the pages, they are not redraw perfectly, so you can see some not now but you can see some flipping between pages and between graphics. Yeah, so as you see, this is back in Mutter Compositor, so not everything perfect, but seems to be working at least somehow. Well, a lot of work to do. Well, okay, so this is our recent Wayland port. Well, okay, thank you, and I'm going to pass mic to Michal.
Thank you, Martin. So, as you have heard, my name is Michal Stanke, and I'm here for the Czech Mozilla community. But I'm going to tell you more about what's coming, as Martin mentioned, Rust. In Rust, Mozilla Research started to build completely new web engine called Servo. Today, Servo is more community-based than Mozilla. Less Mozilla paid people, less Mozilla staff are working actually on it, but they still keep an eye and find out that in Servo they have made good progress, especially in the speed of rendering the pages. Basically, what they have done in Servo, they parallelize whatever can be parallelized, starting with CSS to compositing the DOM, everything. Project Quantum has been mentioned and has been announced, I think it was in December. They are going this year port some cool stuff from Servo back to Gecko and merge it. It's basically about parallelizing everything, and one thing that they have already started and experimented in nightly on Windows and some subset of GPU cards that have been supported is GPU offloading. That means they have put everything what interacts with the GPU to a standalone process. I actually have some numbers on my laptop. I will look at them and tell you. They have done some measurement, and there has been about 50% fewer crashes caused by GPU drivers. On the other hand, there has been about 25% more crashes caused by Flash. Because Flash does not work well in general in Firefox, and that's why they are going to reduce it as well. They even think about using Pepper API for Flash instead of NP-API, which seems to be more stable and basically use the same version of Flash as Chrome does. This was the first experiment. It's not running anymore again, and they are now summing up what to do and when to ship it. But this year, they have three main things they want to ship in Firefox, written in Rust. One of them is Quantum CSS, the first one, which is also codenamed Stylo. That's a library for CSS. Currently in Servo there is just about 120 CSS properties supported, but the aim is to support everything what now the CSS library in Gecko does, and replace the current implementation by the Stylo written in Rust. They are testing it on top 500 pages from the Alexa rank, and they do not see there any regressions, except some they decided they are allowed, let's say. They will ship it. Then there is renderer. They are going to port web renderer for and Compositor from Servo to Gecko also. And that's the part that should parallelize everything that can be parallelized, and use as much GPU as can be for the rendering. Currently, it's unstable due to the drivers for the graphic cards, so it doesn't even work well in Servo now, unfortunately. Yeah, the third one is Compositor. The Compositor is more about composing the pieces together on the page. I've mentioned also the DOM and Flow. Those are currently should be the latest ones. DOM project is about unloading tabs which are not active. They want to detect what tabs you have open in Firefox. They do not need to run the JavaScript when they are not active and you do not have opened them directly. For example, they want to detect, for example, the Google Mail. You probably want to see the notifications or some changes in the title bar when there arrives a new email, and maybe some more pages. But from the common web pages, you don't need this, and they can stop the JavaScript from running and just do not use it. The decision has been made because they've started with electrolysis and trying to run as much processes for the content as possible, and the outcome is doesn't make much sense to use more than eight processes, because there is kind of overhead with the memory to run each process. So they decided to run 4 or 8 processes, and inside of them use some scheduling, smart scheduling, and standalone threads to render each tab you have. The last one mentioned is Flow. I found it recently on the Mozilla Wiki, and Flow is about UI and everything else what can be written in Rust and ported from Servo. The drawback is those are massive changes to the code base. So Firefox needs to drop something which is not compatible. One of the things is NP-API. So no more plugins except Flash, and I think Google's Widevine will be supported. I'm not sure if Google Widevine actually uses NP-API, but it should be one of the plugins that will still work. And they are also dropping support for Windows Vista and older. That should happen starting Firefox 53. That wouldn't be able to run on old Windows. And the last and the major thing that they are deprecating Zool add-ons. So basically the add-ons, the older ones, and moving to Web Extensions API that is in Chrome, Opera, and partially in Edge. The Zool add-ons should be dropped in Firefox 57. They will still work in extended support release, which is 52 for about a year and 2 months maybe. But then the Zool will be gone, definitely. I wanted to show you Servo originally, how it runs, but I wasn't able to connect my computer, so no Servo demo, but you can stop by the booth, which is next to the entrance to this building, and we will show you there directly. And now something completely different. We have been talking about backend stuff that user actually won't see directly. And I want to show you that Mozilla is also testing some new features. And they are not testing in any nightly special builds. You can install them and test even on release, even on older release versions. That's TestPilot. TestPilot contains, I think now it's 6 experimental add-ons built directly by Mozilla. And when you install them, you can try some features, and Mozilla will unfortunately collect some data which they need to know how you use the feature, if it's actually used, and how you interact with it. If the features are successful and from the data they see that you want to use it and it's helpful, it will be built into Firefox eventually. If they do not see much interest, they will either kill it or upload it on add-ons Mozilla.org and make it a regular add-on. I can show you some of the experiments now, if it will work here. But here should be up-to-date version. So if I open TestPilot, Firefox.com. Yeah, it's in Czech. So I will switch it for you to English. Now it's in English. And first I need to install the TestPilot add-on. It has been installed, and now I see the experiments here. There are some kind of geeky experiments, like it can find you when you hit a 404 page. It can check the archive.org if there is some older version of it. You might be interested maybe in Tab Center. It basically move the tabs aside. So I just click enable. It will download the add-on and move the tabs aside, and there's some wizard how to use it. And it can be hidden this way. You can even search here. So if I write that here, it will show me the tabs here and some next tabs, other tabs. One of my favorite is actually there are two. Is MinWidth. I've heard that this feature is in Opera already. When I enable MinWidth and visit some YouTube video, let's open YouTube and go, for example, to DevConf. I can actually try to, when I enable MinWidth, watch myself, visit, and yeah, some the demo effects here. Let's open some other video, maybe if I open something, Servo browser, maybe it's another.
Okay, now. Hi.
Yes, this
Who
works.
here has used Rust?
I can see the video here in some small windows. I can even close the original tab.
Okay,
it will
At
stay
the end
here.
of this, I guess you will
I can hide
be
Firefox,
yearning
and
to
I will
use
see the
Rust,
windows still
hopefully.
over the other
Good.
windows.
So this is the title of the talk.
Now you can see the tab is not here with the video, but there is still an icon, so I can turn it back to a standalone tab
hi.
and
Who
put it
here
back in the
has
browser
used
again. And one more interesting is PageShot. which is in English, who cares? If I enable it, I see a new button here. If I click it, I can make a screenshot. I can either drag and select the area, or I can just hit some text. Yeah, I have turned it off. And it will select the HTML element automatically for me. I can download the screenshots, or I can hit save, which will immediately upload the screenshot to Mozilla servers and copy the URL to share to the clipboard. The advantage of using this service is that the uploaded screenshots are automatically deleted from the servers by default after 14 days, but I can change it from 10 minutes to indefinitely to keep it there. But always I can change my mind and go and delete it, like right now. And if I now paste the link, it won't be there. Maybe I should show you it will be there before. I can, yeah, it detects, so I cannot take a screenshots of this page. Interesting. And this is this pilot. If everything goes well, there will be more experiments coming. One of them is, for example, container tabs. People ask me if it's about running tabs in Docker. It's not. Container tabs are about that if each time you open a new tab, either it is blank tab or open a link in a tab, you would be able to choose what kind of cookies and things should be accessible for that tab and what should be sent. By default, there are predefined tabs like for personal browsing, for banking, shopping, social networks, and stuff. And it will allow you to be logged in to a single page with 3 or 5 accounts at the same time in different tabs, and they won't know about each other. Currently, it's by default enabled in nightly. You can enable it by preference in the developer edition for sure, but they want to enable it for testing to broader audience via the test pilot and gather some statistics, how it's used, if people use it, what tabs and containers will be useful, because you can add your own containers. And that's it. So that's all for me, but if you have any question, just raise your hand. Yeah, right there.
So we were talking about desktop all the time. Is that really the main focus for a web browser today?
Yeah, the question was that we talk about desktop and if there is desktop is the main focus. The truth is that Mozilla in the few years in the past, they put a lot of effort into Firefox OS. And they realized they are not successful and decided to kill it. And then they saw, okay, Chrome did for the years, Google developed Chrome into a very fast browser. So now they are going to get on par with Chrome at least. But there's also focus on mobile web browsers. Recently, there has been a release of Firefox Focus for iOS. Firefox Focus is a very simple browser for iOS with some added features like tracking protection, which blocks some ads, and tracking elements, including Google Analytics and similar stuff for you. And there's also an experimental app called Prox, which aggregates stuff from things like TripAdvisor and such, and show the interesting restaurants and sites around you, including the reviews from all known sites through the API. Yeah.
Why do you use processes and not threads?
Actually, threads are used in Firefox. Firefox has like 20 or 30 threads, but threads has shared memory. So all threads share the same memory and can write everything. So it's not secure. The threads are not secure. So this is the reason.
Well, but unless you secure it,
So you say that Chrome processes are not secure.
No, they are if it uses sandboxing.
Yeah. Yes, it has sandboxes in the nightly Firefox, and it's going to have more sandboxes. So the processes are used to have the sandbox. So this is the reason. Mm-hmm.
Actually, on Windows, there's also already some basic sandbox released, and even in the release, there are sandboxes for the content processes. For Linux, they will follow, and in the next few releases, they want to harden the sandboxes, so the content process cannot do what it should not do. Yeah, the question there. Yeah. How many tabs do you have open? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Currently enabling the E10S, which split UI and the content, I think the increase was about 10% of the memory. Currently in Nighty they are testing two processes. I don't know the numbers. Someone did some measurement how much the number of how much the memory consumptions raise with enabling more content processes. I think it was something like 20 or 40% when you double up the number of the processes. But I have also heard about people that run. But I've heard about people they have enabled about 100 content processes on 8 gigabyte machine. So, but they run nightly, and nightly it should be slightly optimized. But as I said, as Quantum, they know that it won't scale much, and the limit currently they estimate is 8 content processes, and inside of them they will use threads for rendering the tabs. Yep.
I think it could be easy compared with Chrome. If you open, I just did. Okay. Well, I did some. I did some testing with Chrome and latest nightly yesterday, and when I open some five different pages and some video of it. Sorry? Well, just for testing, because Chrome uses different process for different domains. Yeah. So I opened some different domains, and in Chrome it was 1 and 5 gigs, and in Multiprocess Firefox, the latest nightly, it was 700 megabytes. So, well, it could be better, but it's still something. I think it's still good, and it really depends on the page. Yeah.
Yeah, the question back there. There was a question about universal two-factor authorization, right? If it's going to be supported in Firefox, the answer is I don't know. I haven't heard about. As for Firefox, yeah. WebAssembly has been added to Nightly, right? Usually when they add something to Nightly, they wait 2 or 3 cycles to make it work without too much crashes, and that they move to Developer Edition, which is basically alpha, then to beta. Beta has very broad audience, very huge number of users. So in beta, it could stay other like 2 cycles, and then it probably will go to release. So if I sum it up, it's something like 6-7 releases. That's about a year maybe to make it to release version. Yeah, there.
So completely unrelated question. Do you know if Firefox accounts, the
Yeah, the question was if there is any plan to support multiple profiles on a Firefox for Firefox account. I'm not aware of. Currently, you cannot cannot connect to multiple accounts at the same time for synchronization, but you can log in into different account. For example, if you log into add-ons Mozilla.org, you can use different account than Firefox uses for synchronization. So if any service decide to use Firefox account for login, you can use different account than you have in the browser directly. Yeah, there was a question here.
You mentioned 90 several times. Is there some repository or something like that, or do I need to download it and compile it?
You can download. Yeah, the question was where to get Nightly.
Yeah, actually, I think you are talking about Linux, right? So there is a problem that the Nightly built by Mozilla doesn't work on Fedora because there is different SSL version. So you need to buy it by yourself. But I think we are going to provide some pre-built Fedora version in Flatpak or maybe in Copper. But there is plan to provide a Nightly for Fedora users. Yeah.
But if you want to compile it, it takes about 40 minutes. So yeah, are they?
I'm a first-time Firefox user, and I'm really scared that Firefox even more looks and feels like Chrome. It no longer has its identity, and I think it's really bad decision.
The question was, or question comment, that Firefox looks much more like Chrome than Firefox looked like itself in the past. That's true. Probably that's what the common, like the majority of the users wants, to have the browser as simply as possible. Still, you can use stuff like SeaMonkey, for example, which is another extreme. That's basically a Mozilla suite put on top of the current core, current Gecko version. Yeah, right. Next to you.
Said that the extension, as we know, are going to be removed and not more enabled anymore to be run on Firefox. How much time are you giving to the developer, and how much is the effort to port an existing extension to the new format?
The question was about that Firefox is dropping the Zool add-ons, and how much effort is put to port the current add-ons and make them work. The answer is every single add-on developer has to do it on their own. There is some documentation about Web Extensions API on MDN, and currently they have done some measurements about how many add-ons from the Chrome store are already compatible with the Nightly version of Firefox. It was something around 75% of the add-ons for Chrome are already able to run in Firefox if you repack them, and but there is no need to change in the code. And about 11% of them won't be able to run without rewriting because Mozilla is not going to implement some already deprecated APIs, and of course they are not going to implement some Chrome specific APIs, for example for the Google accounts and stuff like that. Yeah.
And there is an info is that the Zool add-ons are going to be deprecated in like end of this year or so. So next year only web extensions are going to be supported in Firefox. This is the recent plan. Yeah. Well, it's because Yeah. The question is why there's no wrapper for the existing extensions. Well, the answer is easy, because Mozilla wants to get rid of the existing Zool extensions because they are too intrusive to the browser and they are too much powerful, and Mozilla is just they cannot do much changes in the browser to move it forward, to do big changes in the core. So they just want to get rid of those dependencies and move faster forward, do bigger changes in the Firefox, and make all extensions more compatible with the electrolysis. So there are big changes in the core of Firefox. Yes, this is.
Yeah, the question is if there are any features that Firefox is better than Chrome. For example, what I have from the back was for example, profiles. In Chrome, there is something like you can switch your identities or stuff like that on the top right corner. In Firefox, actually, you can run multiple Firefox instances next to each other, having completely different data, using completely different profile. And by profile, I mean completely different store for your history, different add-ons, different everything. Basically, in your home directory, you will find a place called by profile. You have seen it when Martin started the demo. He had to create a profile in the sandbox. And those are completely separate. They do not share anything. Yeah.
I guess the opinion here is that we are happy to see the improvements. On the other side, we have been used and we have always appreciated the customize, how much I can customize my Firefox. The fear is that, as far as I understand, is that we are going to lose, and you say that it's wanted that the extension cannot change so much the user interface, but is Mozilla addressing somehow, maybe in the future, or our web extension able to customize the interface the same way the old extension were able to do? I'm thinking about subgroups and other, okay, maybe quite interesting, but at the same time, very useful extension, maybe. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know more or less.
The question was about if Mozilla is addressing the question that Zool is much more powerful than web extensions, and if the web extensions are going to be more powerful probably in the future. The answer is not that much. They are working and talking with Google and Opera together to make web extensions kind of standard, to standardize it, and then Mozilla promised to get and gather feedback from the developers what API and they are missing or what features they would like to implement as an add-on, and it's not possible. Recently they have already shipped in nightly a new API for themes, because themes will be affected by Zool deprecation also. But it won't be that powerful, probably never that powerful as Zool, because Zool was with Zool you have access to everything in Firefox. Well, if you have API, you are limited to the API, so you would need to we are out of time probably. Sorry. So if there are more questions, just we have the booth. You can go there and ask us anything, and we will do our best to answer you. So thank you.
I've got an announcement for you. So if you've come for the GTK 3 to GTK 4 talk, I've got bad news for you. We got a message from the speaker that he cannot make it because he's sick. So we will have to cancel the next talk, and we'll see you in 1 hour for... Yeah, sure, you can.